Traders, what's going on? It's Cleveland here with another Monday market breakdown. This is the second week of June, and we had some crazy action last week with a dismal NFP report that pushed markets higher. NFP was bad. It was right around 38,000, I think 39,000 more jobs reported last month in May, which wasn't good for the U.S., right? So you saw those markets push higher, straight up too, because what happened was usually with these NFPs, you see a little bit of turbulence, but the job report was so bad that you really just saw this thing push to the upside on really our two major pairs here. You saw a little bit of action to the upside on the GBP as well. Okay, so let's go over into this Euro USD and let's just see where the market's at. Janet Yellen is about to speak in the next 30 minutes, 12:30 Eastern Standard, and that may give us a little bit more direction, right? So what we're looking forward to right now is they're looking to not raise interest rates for the summer based off of the NFP report that just came out in May. All right, they want a little bit more stimulation when it comes to the currency, which means they don't want I guess pull people away from buying bonds and moving money all over the world and whatnot. So raising interest rates would be counterintuitive to growth, right? So if you look at where we're at right now, this U.S. market, it pushed down to these lows right around here at $1.11, but now we're back up here in the mid-13s. And the mid-13s is one of the largest structural areas within the past year and a half, right, for 2015 and for 2016, okay? So with the U.S. news coming out, we're looking to probably push to the downside, not only because we're in an overextended market, right? I mean, look at that up move. We could definitely see a break of this level down to these next levels there, but overall, guys, they want to sell this thing off. They want to push some money out of that U.S. All right, waiting for that to move out of the way here. I'll just do this, right? So what we got over here for this Aussie, basically, guys, I'm in a sell, right? I'm in a sell for that euro. It'd be hard for me to believe that this euro could push higher outside of this zone with what's coming out. The fact that this market's considered overextended right now, I definitely want to see this thing sell off down into structure, and then we could see it, fall a little bit more. We'll just have to see how structure aligns. Okay, so for this Aussie, now the Aussie's a little bit different, all right? So right now, Australia does want a weaker currency. They don't want to be so mining-centric, they call it, right? So what they want to see is literally the Australian Reserve Bank wants to see this thing down here in these low 71s and potentially even lower, right? So we could see this retrace only up into this 38.2 before we see that fall off. And if we do a Fibonacci from the high to the low, you'll see that we're kind of right around that same area for from a retracement back to the upside, right? So somewhere around here in these in the 74s is where we could potentially see the Aussie push to, and then after that, we may see this thing sell off. I was assuming that the Aussie could buy up a little bit more, and who's to say that it can't? But based off of the economics, guys, we could see this thing push a little bit lower. Push lower as soon as it gets to these levels here. Right, because this was a quick move. You're definitely going to see some profit takers. Not only that, you definitely have a huge level right here at this in the mid 72s. So that aligning should definitely give this thing a little bit more of a push to the upside. But based off of the economics, we could see this thing fold over. All right. So for me, right now, the Aussie, it's in a little bit of a mix, right? I want to see this fall off. I think that's a big retracement, but I definitely think based off of the size of this move that we could push a little bit higher and then see that fall off. Again, the Yellen 12:30 conversation that she's going to be having is definitely going to push us somewhere. Okay, so right over here with this GBP USD technically aligns to give us some longs, right? So if you look at what we got here, we're sitting right here at some major structure in the mid 44s, and not only that, we have a nice little TL pushing us to the upside, right? And we're right here right now. Okay, so obviously if you want to sell this thing off, we need a break, and if you want to buy it, well, you were really in your buy probably around 50 pips ago. All right, I know Eric got in for a buy, so congrats to that. But that was intraday. When we're talking swinging, guys, well, yeah, shit. I mean, you're 50 pips out. You're 50 pips out. So maybe you could see the market settle down a little bit more in these levels. Pull back a little bit based off of a fast move that happened today. Boom. Okay, pretty quick moves. Okay, so you can see this thing fold over a little bit. Maybe we'll come back down to structure here at 44.16ish. And then we can see that thing push to the upside. Now, if you're going to sell this thing off, then you want to see the break of that TL. And it's just as simple as that, okay? So, again, you want to have your opinions. Right now, my opinion would be a buy. If we can hold these levels, then I'm assuming a buy. But if we break this TL, then I'm assuming a sell. Okay. So that's my outlook for this week. It's precarious in the sense that we don't really know what's going to happen in terms of these summer interest rate hikes. So we're just going to have to see what can happen, right? Euro right now overextended. This thing needs to sell off, point blank period, right? Aussie right now, again, I'm considering the Aussie a little bit extended, and with the outlook new outlooks that we have for off of NFP and off of the reserve banks wanting their currency weaker, well, we can see this thing push a little bit higher, and then we could see that fall off. They literally said 71s, past those 71s is where they'd like to be as an economy. And for the GDP, well, structure lines for us to do give us some upside potential. But if we see a break of this TL, then we could definitely see this thing sell off back down into some of the key levels. The second stop right around that 50 and 61.8. There's so much going on, you don't really know exactly where that thing will hit off. But I'd say the mid 42s if this thing sells off. Okay, so guys, let me know what you think. More knowledge, more profit. Let's dominate. I'll talk to you soon.